Hey everyone, and welcome back to The Explainer. Today, we're tackling a super highly requested topic, and honestly, it's absolutely crucial for anyone diving into Brazilian Portuguese. We are unlocking the exact pronunciation of the letra T. So if you've ever, sat there wondering how native speakers get that incredibly specific rhythm and texture to their words, well, you're in exactly the right place. Let's just jump right in.
Okay, let's dive into this. Section 1. Sound like a Brazilian. Unlocking the accent.
Want to sound like a Brazilian? I mean, that's the ultimate goal, right? When we're learning a language, we spend so much time just drilling vocabulary and agonizing over verb conjugations that we kind of forget about the actual physical mechanics of speech. But here's the real secret. The way you treat your consonants is literally the gatekeeper to an authentic accent. It's exactly what bridges the gap between sounding like a textbook and sounding, well, totally natural.
And believe it or not, the secret code to mastering the Brazilian letter T relies entirely on one very specific number. 3. Yep, there are exactly 3 main rules you need to learn. That's the whole shebang. We don't have to memorize some massive, terrifying encyclopedia of exceptions here. If we can just lock these 3 core rules into our brain, we completely demystify this letter once and for all.
Moving on to Section 2, the TCH sound, the first 2 rules.
So check out how perfectly this maps out. Our first rule is the letter T combined with the vowel I. And our second rule, that's the letter T sitting in an unstressed middle or end position of a word. The crazy thing is, both of these paths lead us to the exact same destination, the ch sound. I actually want you to physically practice this with me right now, wherever you're listening. Ready? Ch. You feel how your tongue hits the roof of your mouth and just sort of releases that air? It's not a hard tap, it's really textured. Whether it's followed by an I or it's just hanging out in an unstressed middle or end spot, you've really got to lean into that ch.
Now, what's really interesting about this is how these specific linguistic combinations completely transform the consonant. We get this softer, beautifully textured sound. It totally stops being that rigid, sharp letter we're used to in English and becomes something so much smoother. It's almost like it's effortlessly sliding right into the next syllable. And honestly, this transformation is a huge, huge part of the overall musicality of Brazilian Portuguese.
All right, pivot time! Section 3, the clear T sound, breaking the pattern.
You know, a pattern is really only useful if we know its actual boundaries. So the crucial point is understanding exactly when not to use that tish sound. When the letra T hooks up with the vowels a, o, or u, it totally breaks that soft pattern we just talked about. Instead of that nice texture, it creates a super crisp, clear T sound. This right here is our third and final rule, and boy, is it a stark contrast to what we were just practicing.
Let's really lock this in. Notice just how clean this rule is. Whenever you combine T with the vowels A, O, or U, the result is always a clear T. You actually need to use some heavy vocal dynamics here to make sure it sounds different. It is ta, to, tu. See? It's harsh, it's immediate, and there is absolutely zero ch sound lingering around in there.
Which brings us to Section 4, regional nuances and practice, adapting your sound.
And this brilliantly illustrates a really fun point. Language is definitely not a strict math equation. It's a living, breathing thing. As our source material clearly emphasizes, pronunciation can, and absolutely does, vary by region. I mean, Brazil is a massive country, right? It's huge. So while these 3 rules give us a rock-solid, incredibly reliable baseline, you've got to keep an ear out for regional variations. Depending on where you travel in Brazil, you might hear the letter T treated with some totally different, unique local flavors. And honestly, that's the whole beauty of regional accents.
Let's move to and see how this builds into an actionable game plan for you. Step 1, really internalize those 3 main rules of the letra seto we just went over. Step 2, acknowledge that as you go out there and listen to native speakers, the pronunciation will definitely vary by region. And step 3, the absolute most important part, practice. You've got the structure now. You know exactly how these vowels interact, so literally the only thing separating you from that amazing, authentic accent is just speaking it out loud.
So, I'll leave you with this thought. We know the rules, and we know Brazil offers this beautifully rich tapestry of regional sounds. So, which region's letra T are you going to practice first? Are you aiming for that classic Rio accent, or maybe somewhere entirely different? Take these 3 rules, go listen to some native speakers, and start matching up what you hear out in the wild with the concepts we broke down today. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and seriously, keep practicing. Catch you next time.